If artificial intelligence goes wrong, it probably will not begin with killer robots or machines taking over cities. The real danger is quieter, slower, and far more ordinary. It begins with tiny cracks forming in systems we rely on. Cracks we might not see until they become impossible to ignore. Because the most dangerous AI is not the one that turns evil. It is the one that does exactly what we asked, just not what we meant. Every complex system humanity has ever built eventually fails in unexpected ways. Bridges collapse from hidden stress. Markets crash because of feedback loops nobody predicted. Software breaks from edge cases that no one imagined. Now imagine a system more complex than anything humans have ever created. A system that reacts in milliseconds, absorbs oceans of information, and optimizes without rest. What happens when a system like that makes a mistake? One of the biggest risks is misalignment, which is the gap between what we intend and what an AI actually does. If you tell an AI to make society safer, it might decide that the safest world is one where humans never take risks at all. If you ask it to maximize economic efficiency, it might eliminate jobs so aggressively that entire societies collapse under the pressure. On paper, these goals look logical. But in practice, they ignore the messy, emotional, unpredictable thing called being human. Misalignment is not about AI turning evil. It is about AI not understanding us well enough to keep us safe. But misalignment is only one danger. Misuse is arguably even worse, because it does not require superintelligence. It only requires human intention. It's incredibly easy to create deepfakes, manipulate elections, hack infrastructure, and invade privacy. A single person with the right AI tool can mimic any voice, generate propaganda at scale, or launch cyber attacks that previously required entire intelligence agencies. Economies could be destabilized, trust could evaporate. The digital world and the real world could blur until we can no longer tell what is authentic. Then there is the economic shock. We have built society on the idea that work gives people meaning, structure, and income. But AI threatens to replace not only physical labor but also creative work, analysis, decision-making, and the roles that once felt uniquely human. If entire industries are automated faster than society can adapt, we could face a wave of displacement with no clear plan to help people land on their feet. Economic collapse does not come from AI alone. It comes from our failure to prepare for the world that AI creates. And in the background, there is the growing threat of surveillance. The machines don't need to want to watch us. Governments and corporations already want that. Artificial intelligence simply makes it easy. With it, they can track faces, analyze conversations, detect patterns, predict behaviors, and monitor entire populations at a level of detail that was once science fiction. If even one authoritarian government decides to fully integrate AI into policing and surveillance, they could lock their citizens into a digital cage. No privacy, no rebellion, no escape. Not because AI is violent, but because humans finally have the perfect tool to enforce control. So what do? How do we survive a future where so many things could go wrong? The first solution is safety research. Not sci-fi defenses, but practical engineering. Researchers are working to build systems that can understand human values, explain their reasoning, and operate within clear boundaries. Think of it like building an airplane. Before it ever flies, engineers spend years studying how it might fail. Not because they fear flight, but because they want to make it safe. Artificial intelligence needs the same level of care. More testing, more auditing, more public pressure to ensure companies treat safety as seriously as performance. The second solution is policy. Not policy that slows progress to a halt, but policy that prevents chaos. We need rules about who can create powerful AI systems, how they are tested, and what happens when they fail. Without guardrails, we are relying on corporations to police themselves, and history shows that this rarely goes well. Third, we need public awareness, not panic, not fear, awareness. The more people understand what AI is and what its risks are, the harder it becomes for anyone to misuse it without being challenged. A society that understands technology can shape how it is used. A society that does not understand technology gets controlled by it. Finally, we need a cultural shift. Instead of treating AI as something that replaces human abilities, we should see it as something that amplifies them. The more we treat artificial intelligence as a partner rather than a master or an enemy, the better chance we have of navigating this transition without losing our identity. The biggest story of artificial intelligence will not be about machines rising up. It will be about whether humans rise to the challenge of using this power responsibly. The danger is not guaranteed. The collapse is not inevitable. We survive by doing what humans have always done. We learn quickly. We adapt creatively. We build systems that reflect not only what we are capable of, but who we want to be. Let me know in the comments what you think is the biggest risk if AI goes wrong. And if you enjoy deep dives like this, hit subscribe, and as always, stay curious.